Hey there, my spooky, scary skeletons. It's Chloe in real life, and welcome back to another episode of my Halloween Spooktacular. Today I'm here with the one, the only, Mr. David Wally. He works for Dark Harbor, and can you explain a little bit about what you do here?
Well, I'm the talent director here at Dark Harbor, so my job is to recruit, audition, cast, direct, train, and supervise all of our ghosts and goblins and monsters, as I like to call them, running around the ship.
So that's a lot on your plate.
It is.
So how exactly did you get into this industry? Because it is such a fun industry and you have such an interesting and fun job. So how did you get into it for people who are wondering how to get a start?
I tripped heavily. I was in the film business for a very long time. I worked on movies. I did Scent of a Woman, Meet Joe Black, and Hostage, and did that for about almost 20 years. And I got to the end of my last film and I wasn't having fun anymore. And a friend of mine from college worked for what we call a location-based entertainment or themed entertainment company called Thinkwell. And they hired me to go work for them, and I was one of the creative directors on a theme park that was going to be built in Abu Dhabi. And this was in like 2008, 2009. And we were all ready to go out there and start building it. We designed it for 2 years, and the economy collapsed.
Wow.
So that project got put on hold. But a happy ending. That company ended up opening that about 6 or 7 months ago, so it ended up getting built finally.
That's good.
But I ended up transitioning out of that, and some of the guys who I worked with got a job creating a new Halloween haunt at the Queen Mary called Dark Harbor. And previously it had been called Shipwreck. They did it for 15, 16 years, and they decided not to do Shipwreck anymore and hired these new people to do Dark Harbor. And my friends who I had worked on a theme park with said, hey, we want you to come here and direct Dark Harbor. I said,
wow.
What does that mean? And they said, we want you to direct this Halloween haunt. I said, great, what does that mean? We want you to teach the actors how to scare people. What does that mean? And I had no reference of what a Halloween haunt was or what went into doing it. But I was out of work and it sounded like fun, and I said, sure, let me give it a try. So I came down and I did all those processes I talked to you about. I met these people. I didn't know any of the actors at that point, and I auditioned them and I trained them, and then we did that first year together, and I absolutely fell into it. It was one of the, even though I'd done movies and theme parks, these jobs that everybody would love to have, this was the most fun I'd ever had professionally. And what I really, really fell in love with was the people and the community and the camaraderie of what we do. And one of the things that I found most interesting about it was I never in my brain thought to myself, I'm directing a Halloween haunt. Mm-hmm. What I always thought of was I was directing this incredible piece of immersive theater that was writ large over this whole property.
Wow.
And so that all of these people, all of these monsters, and all of these guests are in the same experience. And they're forced to interact and bump up against each other in the same physical space. And so that's what I've always tried to create with Dark Harbor.
That's so awesome. And finally, what do you look for in a monster when you're going to cast people?
Sure. Well, you're a creative person, and you know that you can always sort of, you can sense somebody having a sort of sense of specialness about them. And that's part of what it is. But part of what it also is sort of a little bit of a ferociousness and a fearlessness that may not come out in their everyday life, but it comes out when they're given license to be a kid again and to just let their inner id out and come play. So if I can find that people can get out of their own way and not be too hung up or shy about what they're doing, I know they have the ability to possibly do this. But then you also don't just want it to be roar out there and they're out of control. Then I have to also find, can they control their performance?
Yeah.
So it's like, do they have some native talent, even if it's not traditional acting? Do they have native talent for this kind of work? Are they able to leave themselves alone? And are they able to harness their energy and use it effectively?
That's awesome. Now, this place the Queen Mary is one of the most haunted places in the world. And have you ever had a paranormal experience on the ship?
I like to say no, that's BS. However, I have had lots of friends who've had things happen to them that they say are truly weird. There's, you have long hair. I had an actress my first year who was walking down one of the long hallways, and she said she was walking back to her position and somebody yanked on her hair. And she turned around and said, don't yank on my hair, and there was nobody in the hallway.
Oh my gosh, that's so scary.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be something that's really hard for actors. Like, you got to be really brave to work on this ship.
You do.
Stuff's gonna happen.
The scarier thing than anything here at Dark Harbor, the drunks.
Everyone
drunks,
says
they
that.
they really come out late at night, you know, and that's when you really get scared. You have to protect yourselves from them.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, don't forget to subscribe, and be sure to come to Dark Harbor. You guys go now until what day?
We close November 2nd.
Awesome. Well, you got to come check it out. I hope to see you there. Don't forget to stay spooky. Bye.